What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, up at Eric Warren Artistry, the man in question there behind me. I got introduced to him by my friend Matt at MTW. You guys remember us going up there and testing a bunch of motorcycles. Matt and Eric started a new company called Dropkick Customs. They're doing a whole lot of cool parts. They were kind of giving me the tour around here, but what really got me out of bed this morning is they said, we have some really fast motorcycles for you to ride, and someone says they got fast motorcycles for me to ride around, I get out of bed. So as it was explained to me, it's a lot of like performance bagger stuff, but it's not even performance bagger, although they're doing a lot of that stuff. It's literally taking a bagger and just turning it into a performance motorcycle, period. When I went, and I'll show you guys the bikes here in a second, or you probably already saw them in the thumbnail, but basically what it looks like to me is you can take a Road King, a Road Glide, whatever, I think they said it's like 09 and up, 09 and newer, and you can basically turn it into an FXR. I mean, no, it's not an FXR, but it looks an awful lot like one to me. And they basically sell a kit to do the whole thing. And they got a couple of bikes. Let's go check them out right now. You can see right here, this is all like product development. There's baggers and all chopped apart on frame jigs and everything in here. I've never seen this part of it. Seeing like, you know, where you make and order fiberglass parts and fenders and subframes, seeing everything just sitting here in the shop all cut apart, seeing it get developed is really cool. This is a side of custom motorcycle stuff that I've personally never seen. And here they are. Now before I start yapping my fat mouth about these bikes, let's get some pan and scans. Like I was saying before, these things look just kind of like a big FXR. So if you want a modern fuel-injected FXR, I guess this is the way you go. And when you see these frames naked, the frames look just like an FXR as well. Except obviously this started out life as a Road King or Road Glide. I'm really not sure how this started its life, but it started out life as a bagger. It's got a Milwaukee 8 engine in it. They promise me that it's very fast. You can see down here, they both got mid controls on them, so you know you don't have floorboards anymore. The dash is completely smoothed out. Obviously, you've got this big headlight nacelle instead of either a big fairing or like the big Road King kind of nacelle. The entire rear subframe on these is different. They have different shocks. There's a different rear fender, but it's not just a fender. Actually, the entire subframe back here is different on these motorcycles. But like I said, the difference is striking. So, like, I know these are baggers. Like, you can look at it and you go like, okay, they told me they were baggers, but you look at it and it just looks like an entirely different motorcycle. This doesn't look anything like a Road King. It doesn't look anything like a Road Glide unless you kind of just look at the engine. And even then, you've got those mid controls on there, so even that looks different. It looks to me as though this seat with that new rear subframe is actually back a little bit farther, because you might have to be back a little farther to take full advantage of those mid-controls. I'll see how they ride, because we're going to ride these things around. I'm pretty stoked to ride these things around, because I rode my Rocket 3 up here today, but you guys know I spent a lot of time on a 2020 Harley Davidson Road King. This is basically the same bike. This is this is a Road King or a Road Glide or whatever it is, the same motorcycle, but this is a bike that I've spent quite a bit of time on, a Road King with a Milwaukee 8, so I feel like I'm going to be able to tell the difference between these two bikes pretty drastically. All right, well, here's the difference on the Shade Tree Surgeon channel is we don't just go look at custom bikes, we get to ride them around too. Holy crap, dude, that thing sounds mean. He says this one's got pretty much a stock motor and this one's modified, so I'm going to ride this one. I will say, as far as aesthetics though, you guys know I love that Miami style, so I actually like the paint on this one better. Although I know in the comments everyone's going to say they like this blacked out version better. I mean, there's nothing wrong with black, but I'm a chrome guy. I actually like chrome and I like flashy stuff, but I like horsepower even more, so this is the one I'm going to ride around. I can't believe that this was a Road King. I can't believe, or a Road Glide, or whatever it was. Now this is going to be strange. Mid controls on a bagger. All right, brakes work. No speedo, no nothing. I like that. I like custom bikes that don't have speedometers or mirrors or anything like that. Why worry about making your stuff legal? It may sound like I'm making fun of them. I'm absolutely not. It's crazy how it literally, it feels like I haven't gotten on it yet. I know it's going to be faster. It feels like riding a bagger. I mean, it feels like a Milwaukee 8. This doesn't feel like, a lot of times custom motorcycles feel crazy, like they feel like you shouldn't be riding them or they're about to fall apart. This feels solid as a rock because, from what I understand, besides a different subframe and the mid-controls and obviously the engine upgrades, even though it looks totally different, this is pretty much just still, I mean, it's not that much different from stock, so you're not really messing with the geometry or messing with how anything rides. Oh, they fucking move though, don't they? Oh man. Oh, I'm glad Matt's riding with me. You can kind of get a feel for what somebody actually looks like on one of these things. Holy mackerel, dude, that thing pulls. Whew, dude, I love it. It feels like riding a regular bike. It doesn't feel weird at all. It doesn't feel like I'm riding some insane custom bike, besides the fact that it is very, very fast. Of course, I have no idea how fast I'm going because there's no speedometer. That's the way I like it. I know everybody's going to love this blacked out version, but I love that chrome one. I love that chrome and that pearlescent white. How about that? I'm so used to, when I think of a custom bike, riding around my XS 650, which is just an absolute death trap. So it feels different to be on a custom bike that has ABS and fuel injection and all those nice things that make them run really well. Oh, dude, come on. Oh, what a cool motorcycle, man. What a cool bike. It just is so hard for me to believe that this was a Road King. I'll tell you, it's like, this does feel like the bagger until you start to, like my Road King, until you start to get moving on it. And then I'm just like, holy crap, dude. It just feels so much freaking lighter. Not to mention quite a bit faster. I wouldn't say it exactly feels like the FXR, but my FXR is a really bad example of what an FXR should feel like because it's such a piece of crap. I will just say this feels like a very fast, very light Harley Davidson bagger. Of course, like having mid-controls just, it changes. I know it doesn't change that much. It just makes you feel so much sportier. And I'm not really trying to lean this thing because it's got knobbies on it, which, they're for aesthetic purposes only. They're not really great for handling, but I would assume with these mid-controls, which are up higher, that your lean angle has got to be really greatly increased.
And these bikes already handle well. If you see them completely naked, it looks like they basically copied the frame geometry from an FXR. They look very, very similar. It just feels like you want to do dangerous stuff on this. I mean, I always want to do dangerous stuff on motorcycles, but then you get on this thing making all this noise and looking like it does. Dude, I feel like a badass, I'm not gonna lie. Anytime a motorcycle can make you giggle, you know it's doing the right thing. Boy, this thing frickin' moves. I know it's got a cam and some other stuff done to the engine. I'm not sure what else, but this does not feel like my Road King as far as speed is concerned. This thing just feels angry and mean. It's just got something to prove to the world. Oh, I'm in love. What's crazy about this bike is just... I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Where was I? Oh. It's hard to keep my thoughts straight when you're having this much fun. What I'm trying to say is what's really neat about this bike is the fact that it doesn't look like any Harley. So there's just a few different parts on it, a few different things that are changed. But when you look at this motorcycle, it looks like a completely different bike. You look at the outside of it and you're like, well, this doesn't look like any motorcycle that Harley Davidson makes. All right. I gotta remember this is not actually my motorcycle, so I should probably be cool on this. What a transformation. So apparently you can buy this whole kit online. You can turn your bike into this bike. You can get it basically shipped to your door. I mean, obviously not the paint and everything, but they sell everything else. So stuff like the dash, stuff like the headlight nacelle, the rear subframe, the rear fender, the mid controls. This is all, and they didn't ask me. Like I said, Matt's just a friend of mine, so he said come up here and ride these bikes around because he's got these bikes that are like the test bikes for all the parts they make. And I was like, hey, hell, sure. But I think it's pretty cool that you can just buy all... There he goes. I just think it's so cool that you can literally just turn your bike into one of these bikes and have it look like a completely different Harley Davidson. Like I said, this does not seem like... It just doesn't seem like anything that Harley Davidson makes. It looks like a totally different motorcycle. I haven't looked at the prices on everything yet. I'm sure it's not cheap, you know, the stuff ain't free, but I think they said the kit to do this runs at right about $5,000 to do everything. You can buy all the parts individually as well. So it's like you might want to do like just the headlight or just the mid controls or whatever, but you can buy all this stuff separately or you can buy it all together. I tell you, this thing is a freaking neck breaker, man. Oh man, I'm gonna be sad to put this thing away. This is a really fun motorcycle to ride. How cool is that, man?
What do you think?
Oh, it's freaking awesome, dude. Holy crap. This is the man in question, by the way, Eric Warren. Holy moly. Yeah, that was fun. This thing's a freaking neck breaker too, man.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, that was fun. I said it a bunch of times in the video. What's crazy to me is that it doesn't look like anything that Harley makes. Yeah. It's like you change a couple things on this bagger, all of a sudden people are going like, what is this even?
There's about a 260-pound difference too.
260 pounds got taken off of this.
All the bags and the
holy mackerel.
To this, about 260. We actually weighed.
So huge thanks to Eric and huge thanks to Matt for letting me do that. Riding around fast motorcycles is something that I will never, ever get tired of. And like I said, if you want to turn your bagger into that bagger, go to Dropkick Customs. I'll have a link to the website down below. Like I said, I'm not getting paid for this. They didn't even ask me really to pimp out the website or anything like that. Matt's just a friend of mine, and they said come over and ride some fast bikes. And I've never actually seen this part of it. Seen the development part of it, where Eric's up here making all these parts, and you've got like test bikes all cut apart and half put together here. That's a test bike back there. There's a bunch of test bikes over here where they're making parts and creating the part that's going to get molded. Like I said, I've never seen that part of it, and to me, that's super, super cool. Of course, we got that chopper right there too. So that thing is actually, I've mentioned it before, but Matt has charity. It's called Hooked on a Cure, and I'll have a link to that down below as well. Hooked on a Cure benefits juvenile diabetes, and that's something that he does, and that's actually going to be, that bike, which I'm sure we'll get to ride around too, once it's done, is being built by Eric in order to, they're going to auction it off. It's going to benefit juvenile diabetes, and also Matt's also got a charity that he does with, that they send school supplies and food to kids in Haiti. So he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Buy something from Dropkick Customs, man. You're supporting good people. Yeah, I'm digging this, man. There is just cool stuff all over this shop, including an actual FXR. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode, guys. Like I said, I got all of Dropkick's info down below. Huge thanks to Matt and the crew for letting me rip around on their bikes. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment. Check me out on Instagram. I try to post there pretty often, and until next time, y'all, keep it weird.